Dear students, today I will teach you a poem, The Voice of the Rain by Walt Whitman. Walt Whitman was an American poet. He is also called a scientific poet. In this poem, the poet talks about the rain cycle in a very poetic way. And this poem is in conversation form between the poet and the rain. So we can call it also conversational poem. The rain explains its eternal journey in its birthplace, means earth to the poet. I will teach you stanza wise, and I will explain to you also words and phrases which are difficult to understand. I will explain to you also. And who art thou? Said I to the soft falling shower. Open your textbook, and I am beginning with the first line of the poem. I often say poem. Poem is in Middle French, and poem in British pronunciation. Now I am starting with the poem. And who art thou? Said I to the soft falling shower. The poem opens with a question. And who art thou? What is the meaning of this? Who are you? Said I is the poet, to the soft falling shower, rain. The poet asked a question to the rain, and who art thou? Which is strange to tell, gave me an answer as here translated. And very strange that the soft falling shower means the rain answered the poet's question. So this is very strange. What is this strange here? The answer given by rain to the poet's question. Now, the language in which the rain answered the question of the poet. The poet could understand because the poet has a great imaginary power. So for our convenience, the poet translated whatever conversation took place between the rain and the poet. The rain answered, I am the poem of the earth. Said the voice of the rain. The very first answer was the rain was that she is the poem of earth. Poem of earth. Eternal I rise impalpable out of land and the bottomless sea. Eternal, always, never ending. I rise impalpable, unnoticed, without which cannot be described, out of land and the bottom of sea. From the land, from the earth, and the deep sea. Now, in these lines, the poet asked a question to the rain, and rain answered that she is the poem of the earth, and she always rise from the earth and the bottomless sea. Now, I want to make you clear that you might have experienced how the vapor rises from the ground to the sky. Especially in winter season, you can see the vapor going up. Generally, we don't notice. Every moment, every time this situation happens, this thing happens, this event takes place, but most of the time we don't notice. So it rise impalpable means which cannot be noticed, which is not noticed all the time, upward to heaven. So where does it go? the vapor, the water from the earth and the bottomless sea, deep sea goes up in the heaven. Whence means where. Where vaguely formed, altogether changed, and yet the same. Very important point, that it goes from the earth and from the bottomless sea to the sky, and it changes its shape there, vaguely, without having proper shape, vaguely not clear shape, altogether changed, and it totally changes its form. Then you have noticed clouds in the sky, and yet the same. Even then, it is made up of water, yet the same. I descend to lay doubts atomies, just layer of the globe. And descend means come down. I descend. Who is I here? Rain. I descend to lave. Lave means wash, to bathe, to make wet. The droughts, dryness. Atomies, small particles, dust layers of the globe, means to make this earth wet, to wash the dirt of the earth. And all that in them without me were seeds only, latent, unborn. We all know that water is very much required for growing the plants, and if there is no water, the seeds only latent, unborn, means the seeds would remain only latent, hidden, buried in the earth, and they would not germinate, means the seeds would not give life to the plants. So this is very significant. We all know that it is a scientific process in which the plants grow on the earth. Plants need water, and forever by day and night I give back life to my origin. Rain answered to the poet that it gives life to the earth. I give back life to my origin. What is the origin of the rain? The earth is the origin of the rain. And forever, always, by day and night, all the time, and make pure and beautify it. What does rain do to the earth? It makes our earth beautiful, pure. For song issuing from its birthplace, after fulfillment, wandering, regged or unregged, duly with love returns. Means the poet compares rain to the song. Issuing from its birthplace means where from it takes birth. The rain takes birth on the earth, and it goes up in the heaven, then comes back. After fulfillment, wandering means going all around. Regged or unregged means whether it is cared for or not cared for. Regged or unregged. Whether it is cared or not cared for, it does not affect the rain nor the poet if someone listens to the rain or not. Means whether anybody cares for it or not, duly with love returns, means it comes back on the earth, and it pays its debt. It pays its the rain is very grateful to the earth. It gives back what it gets from the earth. Whatever love it gets from the earth, it returns it with love. So this is very beautiful poem, a scientific poem. The whole rain cycle is being described here. Now I will talk about some literary devices used by the poet in this poem. The poet used a non-living thing as living thing in the poem. This is personification. Rain is called. Rain answered, I am the poem of the earth, said voice of the rain. So voice of the rain, rain speaks, rain is given, rain is attributed human quality. So it is personification. Then another example of literary device. I am the poem of the earth. Rain is being compared to a poem. Means the poet says that the rain is the poem of the earth. means metaphor. Rain is called the poem. The poem. Hyperbole is a poetic device in which exaggerated statements are made. When we say things in exaggerated manner, hyperbole in the phrase bottomless sea. There is nothing in the world, everything has a limit. After all, there is some limit, but it is mentioned here. Bottomless sea means which has no bottom at all. It is not possible. So hyperbole imagery is used in visual description of some. Imagery means visual description of something, like soft falling shower. It is for our perception, our feeling. So this is about the poem. I hope that you have understood it. Thanks for watching video. Have a nice day.